Hey everybody, welcome back to Baseline Farms. My name is Jade. So today I'm going to show you what I've been doing in the garden, what I've started. There's a couple beds that I still need to take care of, but I have planted some tomatoes, some cucumbers, some artichokes, some more artichokes, and a bunch of other things. So let me show you what's happening right now in the garden. This guy, my goodness. Okay, so over here, I thought these were red onion. My dad, there was a farm not too far from here. It was an abandoned strawberry farm. And so they had a bunch of stuff growing. There was just like a little fruit stand right on the corner. And they had some onions growing. So my dad popped them up and we thought they were red onions, but they're not. They're actually green onions. So I have a ton of green onions growing. So this is all green onion right in here. And then I have some yellow onions in the back that I can harvest. Now, there are a few bundles of onions that I can harvest and make some more of that onion top pesto, which is, if you haven't made it, it is so delicious. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's get going, because every time I pay attention to one of the garden beds, then he wants to come in here and play. Alright, so over here, as you can see, I added, it's not a cattle panel, but I did put some 3 T-posts up, and this is just some fencing that we have. You know, just some fencing that we use to mend fencing and things like that. So we have a big roll of this, and it's pretty sturdy and strong, but you definitely have to add the T-post. And as far as support, I feel like it might be pretty sturdy. I never used this to trellis up any type of tomatoes before. This is my first time, and I'm just trying to utilize what we have on the farm instead of having to go out and purchase things, because we have so many T-posts, we have so many different types of fencing. This is just one roll of it. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try it out. So now over here in this garden bed, this is where I planted 5 San Marzano tomatoes, and they're by Johnny Selected Seeds. They're also an heirloom variety. So this is my first time ever growing this type of variety, and I'm excited to see how they're going to produce. So let me show you what else I've been doing. Now over here in this garden bed, I'm going to get to amending that one. That's another bed I'm going to put some tomatoes in. And in front of the tomatoes, which I don't think I showed you, so that's where I have the tomatoes at. In front of those tomatoes, I am going to plant something else. I'm just not too sure yet what it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be basil or spinach or squash. I don't know, because I did plant some basil seeds, just on the other side here. I'll show you where. All right, so over here in this garden bed, this is where we have some carrots growing on the side. We have 2 little strawberry plants right here. We have another row of carrots that are doing really good. We have this little row right here of spinach, and then 2 rows of spinach right here on the side. And I have harvested so much spinach from this little spinach. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a spinach patch, but just from that row, those 2 rows of spinach. It's been amazing. All right, so over here we have our garlic, and look how good it's doing. Oh, I cannot wait to harvest some garlic. Now also in the back corner, on the back of this bed, I did pop in some strawberries as well. So I cannot wait to see how that's gonna look, because I could already see the little strawberries forming. Okay, so over here is our lemongrass. Now I know the lemongrass doesn't look too good, and I'm not too sure if this is what it's supposed to look like during the season, but I did trim it up, and I don't know. But it's still producing the shoots and it's still growing. It just doesn't look too hot right now. So I'm hoping that in the springtime it's really gonna develop and look beautiful just like it did last year. Okay, so now over here in this bed, last year I grew a bunch of peppers. So many peppers in here, and they grew phenomenal. And I also had some Jerusalem artichokes in here along with some ginger. Now I noticed that I think I might have left either some ginger or some Jerusalem artichokes still in the bed. And I think it's the Jerusalem artichokes, because I could see something growing right here on the side. And this is an artichoke. And this is not an artichoke right here. Do you see that? Let me show you. Okay, so do you see this one right here? That one right there, I think that's a Jerusalem artichoke right there. Now this one is an actual artichoke. So I did plant a bunch of artichokes right in this row, and I did start some spinach, and I could see the spinach popping up. And I also planted some nasturtiums on the side along with some marigolds. Now over here in this row, I have some carrots and some celery. So I have some celery in the beginning, and then I have some carrots down at the end. And I just popped in a bunch of marigolds in the middle and all over the place. Now over here in this bed, and I can already see a bunch of turnips. Do you see that? So many turnips are popping up all in this row, and I love turnips, so I hope we get a ton of turnips here. Now in this garden bed, I did add the PVC pipe, and I put netting over the top of it because I did notice that there were some birds in here, and I didn't want what happened last time happen this time, where they ate the seeds and they ate the vegetables. So I definitely am learning, and I definitely put a net on this one so that way it'll protect all the seeds and the vegetables. And it wasn't that hard. All I used is some rebarb. I think that's what you call it, rebarb or rebar. I just pounded some rebar in the corner, and then I put some PVC pipe, and that's pretty much it. Okay, look at the raspberry. No, this is not raspberry, blackberry bush. The blackberry bush is doing so good. Look at that. It has so many flowers. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That is so awesome. So it has so many little buds on there. I cannot wait to see what kind of blackberries we're gonna get from this little blackberry bush right here. I'm so excited. So now I have not planted my peppers in here. I was gonna plant the peppers, but I did not because the nights have been kind of chilly lately. And then tonight it's supposed to drop down into the 40s. Now I do have some peppers already in the garden beds that I'm hoping are gonna do okay. So far so good, but let me show you some new yard art that I got. Isn't that so stinking cute? So our neighbor across the way is moving, so he had a big yard sale. So he gave me this wood burning stove, and so I thought it'd be so sweet and cute to put it here in the garden, you know, right at the end of the trellis. I have some plants in there, and oh my gosh. And let me show you some of these plants. They're so stinking cute. So look at that. Isn't that just the cutest little sweet plant? Now, I'm not too sure what the name of it is, but it is a perennial in our zone. Now, I got this one also that has a little bit of a yellow tip to it, and I think the underside has little kind of like polka dots or something like that. You see that? I don't know, it's just so stinking cute. Look how cute that is. The garden is coming together so sweetly. It's so cute. I love seeing all the things that are just, you know, just falling into place. Okay, so over here, now this is the bed that I had all the broccoli in. And so far, everything's doing really good. I have my beans right here. It's called their avalanche peas right in there. Let me give you a better look. Look at that. They're doing so good right there. I cannot wait till they get big enough to trellis and have this beautiful full trellis of beans, and oh my gosh, I cannot wait. Or peas, I cannot wait. So this is where I have the peppers, and so far the peppers look like they're doing pretty good. I don't know if they're stunted or not. We'll find out, you know, when the summer comes. But I also have some basil in the back, and I did put a couple seeds in here of some zucchini squash, and nothing yet, some black beety zucchini. So eventually I'm sure they're going to be popping up, but the basil is looking really good. Let me show you. See that? There's like 4 little basil plants right in there. That's doing pretty good. Okay, so now over here we have our raspberry bush, and I did put some little pansies in here because I thought I'd just brighten it up. So we have our little raspberry bush that's doing really good. I did fertilize it, and so far so good. It's looking really nice. So over here in this bed, this is where we have our celery, and the celery is looking so good. And then I added some cilantro right in here. Now I was going to put you know, some PVC pipe and put the netting on the top, but I ran out of netting, and then I haven't been able to find any. So I might look online. I haven't checked online. I just kind of been looking at our local nursery and Home Depot, and they are all out of netting. So yeah, so I don't know if the birds got any of the seeds in here, because I did see some birds in here. Hopefully they didn't, but I did start some basil right here in this section, in between the artichokes right here, and then at the very end I added in some peppers. Let's see what kind of peppers we have going on here. So over here we have the barren hot peppers. So I cannot wait. So hopefully they're gonna do good. I'm not too sure. This is the most I've ever grown as far as peppers go. Last year I just grew a bunch of sashimi peppers and not sashimi peppers, banana peppers, a bunch of banana peppers, and some bell peppers, red and green. And so this is the first time growing some hot peppers, and I'm hoping they're gonna do really good. Okay, so over here are the carrots, and now right here in this row I had another row of carrots, but I harvested them all, and I added in some artichokes, some more artichokes, because artichokes are perennials in our zone. So I figure I'll just leave them here, and then I'll just add in between the artichokes, since I know they kind of grow tall. So we'll see how that looks, and let's see if we like it. And if not, then maybe I'll move them, because I do have a lot of artichoke plants growing here in the garden. Okay, here is the Myers lemon, and the Myers lemon has been having a bunch of new growth. Look at all this new growth right here, right in here, some right there. I mean, let me give you a really good look. Do you see that? All that new growth right in there, right in there. It's so much. Oh, I love it. I love it. I really hope we get some lemons this year. And if we don't get any lemons, I'm just glad it's growing. So over here we have all of the cabbage, and the cabbage is doing so good. Ever since I knocked down the aphids that last time with the water hose, they haven't come back. So that's a really good thing. I hope they stay like that. Okay, so now over here, this is where I put my cucumber. Now I found this, I don't even know what it is, but I found this out in our junk pile, and I thought, you know what, that would be kind of cool to put cucumbers growing on it. So I planted these Lake Valley cucumbers, because I did plant those last year and we had such a good success with those, that I figure they could trellis up this, and then I could just throw them over the top and they could trellis down the backside. So that's my goal, is to have just this wall of cucumber right in there. Now, as far as what I'm planting in this bed, I'm not too sure yet, but I do have a ton of tomatoes. I did start some potatoes, but let me show you the beds that I fixed. Now, they don't look pretty at all, but I did all the irrigation for 3 beds. So this bed, that bed, and that little one over there. And that little one right there has some potatoes. I put some red and purple potatoes in that last garden bed. And then I just kind of planted a bunch of pansies here and there in some of the garden beds. But I'm so glad to get this irrigation finished. Now all I have to do is I need to get one more piece for this piece right here, so I can add the little adapter for the emitter, and then add the drip lines, and then I'm set. So that's gonna be so exciting. I'm gonna put tomatoes in these 2 beds because I have so many of them, and I think I'm gonna do the same type of method with that little trellising thing right there, and using that fencing that we have out in the field. I mean, I might as well use as much as we can, so I don't have to go and buy a bunch of things. But this little garden space right here is doing so well. Everything's doing so good. Look at all that spinach. That's a ton of spinach that we harvested from those 2 little rows. It's crazy. So now let me show you what's happening in the little garden. All right, so here in the little garden we have a ton of onions and garlic. So first off, here is the green onion that I thought was red onion. So I have a ton of green onion. I have this bed of green onion. I have this bed of green onion. And then this row right here is garlic. Then also I noticed the other day, I was out here, and this is the bed that I had some Thai eggplant. Now, I did not know that the eggplants can handle a winter. So what I did was I just cut off the tops of the eggplant because I figured the roots were going to decompose into the garden beds. And then I noticed that we have some eggplant growing because those two are both eggplants. So that's kind of exciting to think, wow, they actually survived over the winter in that super cold weather. And so yeah, that's crazy. Last year was my first year growing, no, maybe my second year growing eggplant. Is it? I think it's my second year. And I had no idea that they can make a comeback like that. So let's take a look. Let's watch them and see, what we get from them, if they're going to be producing or how they're going to be. I have no idea. Okay, so over here is where we cut the tops of the onions and we made that onion top pesto. And it's still doing so good. Look how good they're doing. They're actually growing back. And then we have we have 2 rows of white onions. We have some green onions in the back. And some of the green onion did go to flower, which I don't mind. I figure maybe they'll just plant some more onions over there. So we have some more green onions. No, this is yellow onions right in here. And then green onions in the middle. And then some more yellow onions in the back. We have so much green onion. And then look over here. We have this blackberry bush. The blackberry bush is doing so good. So healthy. Now, Oli has a couple little flowers, but that is okay. I will take them. Everything's doing so well. Now, tonight we're supposed to have some really cool temperatures. I want to say in the 40s. All of our chickens are doing really well. Our baby chickens are still in the trailer and staying warm in there because I figure it's kind of been chilly at night. It's best just to let them stay in the trailer for right now. But eventually, I want to say probably by Friday, I'm going to be moving them out into the chicken coop because I feel it's time. They're getting bigger and one of them is starting to already trying to jump out. But you guys, we have some baby skunks. I saw 4 baby skunks walking around without their mother and I haven't seen them in like 2 days. But they came out from underneath our chicken coop. So I don't know if they're still there. I don't know if they're out and about. But yeah, for 2 days in a row, we saw some little baby skunks and they are so stinking cute. So I think that's pretty much everything that's happening on the farm. Everything's doing really good. Our neighbors are moving, which is a big bummer because I really like them a lot. So hopefully we get some really good neighbors and because these neighbors been here for like 20 plus years. My goodness, it's a long time. So yeah, getting some new neighbors, but everything's going really well. The farm is coming along really nicely. It is a little bit quiet, but we will be getting our lambs on May 1st, so that'll keep us busy. And so yeah, right now is just getting the garden planted and getting everything in the garden for the springtime. So everything seems to be going pretty well right now. The parks are getting done. Yeah, the weather's been warming up. So take care, be safe. Hopefully you like this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.